What up? What up? It's your boy Conserviz 34. Shout out to Wednesday. Shout out to those people who getting their tax returns. Shout out to people getting their yearly bonus and raise. Free my boy Dodo. Free Shotgun. Free my homie A Dream So Real. So we are live and direct here. And got some things here to discuss. But the first thing that I wanted to bring up here is a special benefit concert that's going to help raise funds for those affected by the Marshall fire. This was in Colorado, in the Denver metropolitan area. And Mr. Dave Matthews is going to be part of this lineup. It'll be streaming at marshallfirebenefit.veeps.com. Go on Dave Matthews Band social media. You will be able to get the link right there. And shout out to everyone who is in Colorado. I know we have Typical Times, aka Ron from Colorado, who's out there. DMB Lover on Twitter. Mile High Dad is also out there in the greater Colorado or greater Denver metropolitan area. This was a horrible fire that happened some months ago, and it really impacted the people out there. It was a scary situation. There could have been people that really lost their lives because of this, but because of the heroics of the various fire departments and safety experts out there, they were able to get people evacuated, police departments, other first responders. So it's a 10. All you have to do is pay $10 or donate $10 to the stream, and you'll be able to get this on the 28th. That's February 28th. That is a Monday the 28th. So it is the last date of February. It should have been the 27th, right? Number 27. Here, and you got some awesome people: Amos Lee, Big Head Todd, Brittany Howard, the California Honey Drops, Old Crow Medicine Show, Dave Matthews, Lake Street Drive, Leftover Salmon, Lyle Lovett, Michael Franti, The Motet, Rob Jockbin, Nathaniel Ratliff, Ryan Tedder of One Republic, Sarah Jaros, Steve Miller, String Cheese Incident. I love SCI. By the way, they have a fiddle player, Michael Kang, who also plays mandolin. Very talented string player. I don't think he's coming to DMB. He shouldn't. He should stay with String Cheese Incident. And you have Trey Anastasio, Winona Judd with Cactus Moser, and more to be announced. I saw some reports with the Avid brothers being there. I love them too. It just was actually 2 days ago was February 7th, which is actually one of their best songs. So on social media, I had put that up, a little montage for the Avid brothers, and so yeah, that's where we're at. If you're in the chat, say what up. Let me just see if my see, because what we want to do today as well is I did want to get some people on to talk about where are you going? Where are you going for this tour? And what I can do is send you a link. Okay, so Luke's about to tune in, so we'll get him on in a second. Again, if anyone else wants to come on, and one of the other watchers, Mark, is at Earth, Wind, and Fire. Let me just see this here. So he's not going to be on. Let's see if I can. I hope he's enjoying. Mark, if you're watching the replay, I hope you're enjoying the show. There, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I actually, Luke is here. Um, so Mark, who's been in some of these chats here the last couple of weeks, I can't remember his last name or last initial, but Mark is at Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I seen them in concert. But I did not. They were actually here this past Friday, but I decided to not go to the show for various reasons. But I mean, it was hard to turn that down, and because they are awesome, they're just an awesome group. So yeah, this Dave Solo show, check it out on Friday, Monday the 28th. Monday the 28th. Again, and we'll zoom into that. This is the lineup here. Um, And then let me just show you guys. I had some funny stuff here today on my Instagram. Viz 34 and just had a nice morning skate. Tune in 10 p.m. tonight. We want to hear from you guys. What shows are you going to for the DMV 2022 tour? We'll be able to bring some of you guys live on with audio and video. Video is optional, but tune in 10 p.m. Eastern. If you want to be on, hit me in my DMs. We'll send you a link so you can talk about what shows you're going to for DMV Summer 2022. Peace. Okay, and the next thing I'm about to show you is pretty funny. Yeah, let's see. So this is me 5 minutes before adding two more Dave Matthews Band show to my tour season.
I would be crazy to say we think we need more. I think we got enough.
So, yeah. So I have plans to go to Deer Creek now. Upon and I have the time off now from work, so I can go. So the challenge is going to be flying in for that. Either I'm going to be flying in there to Indy Thursday or Friday for the day of the show, which is a huge risk. But if I miss, I mean, I don't want to say I'm going to miss, but I mean, for Deer Creek, that's all. I want to be there night two. If I'm, I hope everything goes well, but the night two is the most important thing that we have for that. I just want to get that Saturday. I want to see that weekend crowd at Deer Creek. I'll be going to Alpine. I'll be going to Hartford, Mansfield, and SPAC, and that's going to pretty much be my tour for the summer. See what they do in the fall. And so what we're going to do is we are going to bring in. We're going to bring in Luke. I'm going to get him the link here through our Discord chat. But if anyone wants to be on today, just put something in the chat and we'll send you the link. But we're going to get Luke on first. So what I want to do today is I want to know where are you going? Where are you going to be going? What are your plans? What are your requests for the tour for 2022? Did you put warehouse requests in? Are you waiting for Ticketmaster? Are you going to wait till closer to the event? So we want to know that. So we're going to put this in here. We'll put the where you going. Oh, oops. That's it's not right. Let's change that. I want to know from you guys what you're doing. And I'm actually going to mute. Let me know if there is an echo. I'm going to mute my media because sometimes my laptop has an echo. And then we're going to give, oops, where is that link? All right, so Luke, I'm going to send this in the Discord that we have. and then we'll get you on. You guys don't have to be on video. If you want to, that's fine. You can just be audio only. Please be respectful, courteous, no aggressive cursing or swearing, no threats, no talking about anyone's mothers. We're going to leave the mothers out of this. And by coming onto this stream, you waive your right for privacy. This will be a live video that stays up on YouTube. So if you do decide to click the link, you are giving consent to be on live YouTube. All right, so Luke, you should have the link there. Let me know if you have any issues. And I do also have some information we'll talk about in a second about some of the more intimate venues and comparing them, contrasting them. Hey, Mike, let me know if you want to come on. Mike, what we're doing today is we're just asking people what shows you're going to. It can be audio only, audio and video, but if you do want to come on, just say yes or hey, I want to be next, and we'll put you on to the show. We'll send you a link, and then you can come on. Luke, let me know if you have any issues connecting. I did put it in the Discord chat. Oh, there's Luke. All right, Luke, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, my man. How you doing, Marcus?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming on.
I'm glad to be here.
All right. So the question today, as you know, is where are you going? What shows are you planning to go to for 2022?
So, as y'all know, who might watch the chat replay or is in the Discord server, I'm probably just gonna hit up Blossom Music Center this year. It's my all-time favorite venue, and that's probably all I can just go to this year. I might go to Deer Creek if it works out, but I'm a last minute ticket type of guy, and if there's none available, then I probably won't go. That's about it. But what shows are you planning on going to, Marcus?
So I will be going to Mansfield, Hartford. That's the first weekend of that I'm going to be going to, and then after that, I'm going to Deer Creek, and then after that, I'm going to Alpine, and then after that, I'm going to SPAC. So it's going to be a June-July run for me.
That's a hell of a lineup. Wow.
Yeah. I'm maximizing some of the big weekends, but they also happen to be. I wanted to go to most of these venues. They just happen to all be in a little bit of a row.
Nice.
Typically you would have some of these a little more spread out. It just happens
And,
that this year they're all together.
and at this point in the band, if you can't take advantage of going to all these shows, because this band isn't going to be here for another 30 years. I hope it is, but the best chance it won't be here in 40 years from now. So it's good. I'm glad that you're taking advantage of going to all these shows, all these legendary shows like Alpine Valley or Noblesville and Deer Creek. And I'm glad to hear that.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm going. It's not even as much for the actual songs. Now, yes, I don't want them to close out with Shake Me Like a Monkey, but
Yeah.
I want to see the Midwest. That's the one area of the country that I've been to. I've been to Kansas City for the NCAA tournament when I was working at StubHub, but I haven't really experienced a lot of events in the Midwest. So that's why you have the 2 weekends in Deer Creek, and then in Indy Metro, and then I have middle of nowhere Wisconsin, because I want to see how these shows are, and just to be able to experience it.
A
So that's
very underrated venue, in my opinion, is Pine Knob near Detroit. It's a very beautiful amphitheater. You walk in and it looks like a forest, even though it's kind of funny. It's just outside of Detroit, but you have this big parking lot. It's really easy to park there. You just park wherever you want. You walk in, it's like a forest. There's all these trees all over the place. And the amphitheater itself is also really pretty too. and Blossom Music Center itself is built um, in the Cuyahoga Valley, and so that's just beautiful in itself. I highly recommend those two venues, and I might be biased because it's my hometown venues,
Right.
but that's all I gotta say about those venues. I haven't really traveled really far for DMB, and the furthest I might have traveled is Cincinnati in 2019. And I gotta say, it's not my favorite venue, but that it might only because there was no sound for the lawn.
Gotcha. And I know there's that at that turf, that like artificial turf at Riverbend.
Yeah,
There. Yeah, actually, so funny story about Pine Knob. I know it's on the schedule. I'm actually gonna be missing out on a wedding in Detroit. One of my friends through I used to work with him. We've only known each other for a couple years, but he is from Waterford, Michigan, so just south of Pine Knob of where it
yeah,
is. So he's from Waterford. I was supposed to be, well, I know that he's going to be having a wedding the day of the Hartford show. So I was supposed to be in by Pine Knob, a couple days before, like about that weekend before they actually going to be playing there. So it's kind of bittersweet because I probably would have still been in Detroit just because I was going to go to the Upper Peninsula. I was going to explore Michigan for a couple of days, but I decided it's a newer friend, and because this just happens to be Hartford weekend, I'm skipping out on the wedding.
yeah. I'm in
So
I'm in a similar situation. The Avett Brothers and DMB is playing in Northeast Ohio on the same night. Avett Brothers are playing in a smaller amphitheater in downtown Cleveland called Jacobs Pavilion. It's a great
mhm.
amphitheater. And DMB is playing at Blossom Music Center about an hour south. And obviously I can't go to both, so I'm probably just gonna go to DMB and hope that the Avett Brothers don't play in Cleveland the same night as DMB next year or a few years in the future.
Now
Because I've
did
only seen them live once, which was the Willie Nelson Outlaw Roadshow or Outlaw Festival or
oh
something
yeah,
like that.
Outlaw Music Fest. And
Outlaw Music Festival.
what's crazy? I don't know if you saw it. I was just talking about this. I made this I don't know if you can see. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm trying to show you. I loved them, and I have a poster I need to frame of them. But they have a song February 7th,
Yeah, one
and
of my favorites.
I made this little montage here. I don't know if you can see it.
That's
I went on the search for something true.
So I made this montage. It's on my Twitter because I made this. It happened to snow on February 7th, and now it's all melted. It's like it was 40 degrees. But I made this little montage because I love that song. I love No Hard Feelings, which is like people, it's their best song. And then I love Shame. Shame is I've seen them one, two, I think I've only seen them twice. I was supposed to go to Brooklyn to see them before when the pandemic changed that, but they're
yeah,
an awesome band. And the thing about them is they do what DMB can't do. They have that acoustic root because obviously it's more folky,
yeah,
and they do a little alt rock and kind of like, in some spaces, but they still have that core acoustic percussive sound that DMB had. So that is a band that I really want to see more of. But I love their catalog. I mean, there's really like even more than DMB, there's not like when I go to the two shows I went to, there's not a song I really want to go to the bathroom during. Their last album wasn't as good as the other stuff, but it still is. I don't mind it. But they literally the both shows I've been to, I've been at my seat the whole night. So
yeah. The funny story is that I've never heard of the Avett Brothers until they basically came on the stage at Blossom Music Center. So it was kind of crazy.
was this
Um,
last year?
this was in 2017, so it was little while ago. So,
Okay. Because
um,
I know they just went, not to cut you off. I know I believe they were on one of the legs last year of the Outlaw Fest. I think they were.
yeah, I think so. I'm not too sure, but Yeah, I've never even heard of them until they came on stage, so it's kind of crazy.
It's awesome. And so your Blossom, and that's another venue. If you saw during, I don't know if you were watching during the summer, but we had my friend Alan on. He's out there in Cuyahoga County as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw that. It was a fun. I saw it after the live stream happened. It was kind of crazy, and I have a funny story on. Well, it might not be funny, but it's certainly interesting. And that crowd was crazy because, well, crazy for DMB standards because they haven't played at Blossom for like a good 3 years,
mhm.
and it was kind of cool how they started off with Rye Whiskey. But at some point, I had to move away because there was a fight where, or like a there was some drunk people that were about to get into a fight, so I moved up to the lawn for the rest of the show, and it was way better up there in the lawn, even though it was cold. It was I totally recommend the Blossom Music Center's lawn. The sound is really good up there.
Oh, so you left your seats because of a fight?
Yeah, I left my seats and I went up to the lawn and I chilled out,
Oh,
and
nice.
it was awesome.
I
There's
I've heard.
also a there's also a guy with a top hat sitting like 5 or 6 rows ahead of me, which is a big no-no, considering he was the tallest guy in the whole amphitheater. The dude was
Oh,
wearing a top hat, which is
that's
like, which is like talking through a whole show, which is it's the equivalent of talking through a whole show, in my opinion.
oh yeah.
Which
Any
is
sort of
also another one of my
large
biggest pet peeves.
yeah, any sort of large hat or so, just it's distracting. And yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
Blossom too. The audio, the I've heard great things. People compare it to SPAC as far as the audio quality from those speakers. So one of these days, if the band continues to tour, I'll have to check that out. There now, did you put any requests through the warehouse for Blossom?
Oh no, I don't do warehouse at all because I don't go to those big market shows.
Okay.
I could probably get a lawn ticket for free in the parking lot the day of the show rather than pay the fees and pay all the warehouse everything. And that's pretty much my plan at this point.
Okay. So that's
It's
a good that's a
really close
great
to the
point.
show.
Yeah, you're not, it's Blossom is a popular venue for the band as far as they love playing there, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be a SPAC weekend. They still get good set. Listen, Blossom gets some
Oh yeah.
solid sets, but it's not, the demand is not like SPAC. So that's an interesting point, and I think the best route to take is, like you said, you can get a seat, you can get a lawn ticket. Everyone has an extra lawn ticket. The
Oh
lawn does
yeah.
not sell out, so that's probably your best bet. And then for, let's say, if you do Deer Creek, is there a certain price threshold or something like where you would say, okay, this is the amount, like after taxes, fees, and everything, this is the most I'm going to pay for a last minute Deer Creek show?
Um, I'll say in around $100
Okay.
is like my limit for Deer Creek. But at Detroit, we had amazing seats. I think that only cost about $50. So you're gonna get with those small market shows. Now with SPAC and Alpine Valley, I'd recommend getting the warehouse because those
Right.
are the big market shows. All the fans are flocking to those amphitheaters. But with like the smaller markets like um Detroit and Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, those Midwestern small markets, I'd recommend go buying on what is it called, Ticketmaster or whatever,
Hmm.
closer to the show because you're gonna get better prices, in my opinion.
Right. No, that's a good point. Yeah. So yeah. So and best of luck. And then we'll definitely we'll have some more commentaries about what you want from the tour. But we thank you for just sharing some thoughts. Any other final things as far as preparation for your trip, or like booking hotels? Anything else you're putting in your playbook for the summer?
Not much because I only live about 45 minutes away from Blossom. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's about it. I'm not doing anything big old special. I want to see other bands. OAR is coming to town with Dispatch. Jack Johnson's coming to Blossom, and I'm more excited to see those shows than travel around to see DMB, in my
All
opinion.
all right. Well, and that's what's awesome is this. Sometimes fans get so focused on D&B, and
Yeah,
some people multitask. But I think one thing I want to recommend to people is don't forget about just a festival or some sort of act you may have not known but you've heard about, and just getting a lawn ticket, because like you said with the Avett brothers, the same thing with me. I remember getting into them some years ago, maybe 3 4 years, no, maybe 5 years at this point, but 5 years ago I just started diving into their catalog, and I was at a show that like end of that year. So don't forget, folks, that there's more to life than D&B, and at some point
for
D&B is
sure.
going to slow down, and you want to check some other stuff out, and you don't let DMB make you miss an act you're going to regret not seeing live. So thank you so much, Luke. We're gonna get Mike set up, but like I said, we'll definitely have you back on when
Thank
we're
you for
talking
having
about
me.
set lists and about expectations closer to tour time.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I hope to be back here soon. Thank y'all.
All right, you take care. Peace.
You too.
All right, so thanks to Luke. Mike, yes, you can use your phone. You should be able to click the link if you go into YouTube. Oh, there's Mike. So Mike. We'll bring you on in just a second. So we just had Luke from the Midwest. We're gonna bring on Mike, and I actually met Mike in the lawn of the Gorge. We had been talking on here before. He's been a loyal supporter of the stream, and so we're gonna bring Mike in from Canada. Mike, how's it going? Mike, can you hear me? Let's see. Mike, can you hear me? It should let you choose a mic from your phone. Oops. Uh-oh, Mike dropped off. You may have to disconnect from the YouTube chat. So what you want to do is, oh, let's see. Mike, can you hear me? Hello, Mike? Okay, let's see if we can get him connected. Oh, there you are. How's it going, Mike?
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, I was hoping to do this without the video. Got a face for radio.
Here, we'll put you down here.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. All right. So, Mike, just so like I said, we just had Luke on from the Midwest. So obviously you're out in Canada. So if you could just kind of tell us what are you looking to go to for 2022?
So for 2022, for sure is the Gorge. That's a given. It's essentially my home venue. It's about an 8-hour drive, and so far it's looking like we'll be able to drive this year, unlike last year. So that's good. I'm also hoping to go to Alpine Valley this year. I didn't request any tickets because the plans are still kind of in the works, but I know enough people that have gone many times that say it's really not too hard to get tickets if you work hard close to the show. And even they say doing the long one night is not bad, really good long. So hopefully I get to Wisconsin this summer too.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome to see you there because I'm not doing Gorge, but I'll be in Wisconsin. If you could just talk to us a little bit about some of the challenges last year as far as getting to the Gorge and leaving Canada to go to concerts.
Right. So I usually go to the Gorge every year with 2 to 3 friends from here that we drive down together. And we meet up with a bigger crew that we've met over the years that are all from the state. And during the course of the summer last year, the border was closed on both sides. You couldn't go into the States from Canada, and you couldn't come into Canada from the States. And so we waited and waited and waited because it was the 21st of every month that they would renew the border rules. So we were hoping August 21st they were going to open the border, and then they didn't. And so my friends pulled the plug, and they're like, "Now we're selling our tickets. We're not going." And I still wanted to go and had enough friends going down to go, so I decided last minute to book a flight. And because you can fly, you just have to get a PCR test to fly down, and then another one to fly back. And so I flew to Portland and stayed with my buddy, and we drove to the Gorge, met up with the rest of the crew, and ended up having quite a memorable weekend, as you remember, Marcus.
Oh yeah, it was a roller coaster of a weekend, and if the audio was a little choppy, but for those of you guys who couldn't hear, because the border was closed as far as by car, Mike had to take a flight to Portland and get a PCR test, before he could actually come in, and then before he could fly back, had to get a PCR test. So for Canadian fans like him, there were few of them at the Gorge, and it financially it's a lot. It could have impacted him getting back to his family, and there was a big sacrifice by those Canadian fans or anyone who wanted to come into the country. And I think, if you are an American fan, yes, we complain about set lists, we do all this stuff. Oh, why didn't they have a show within an hour of me? I got to drive 5 hours. Just remember, we have Canadian fans, we have international fans, a fan from Australia who can't make this tour. So I think one thing we should be grateful for, even if you didn't get a show in St. Louis, you didn't get a show in Chicago, you didn't get a show in some of the other markets that were left out, you can always take a flight, and you don't even have to take a test. You just fly, and you can be, a 2-hour flight to pretty much, halfway through the country in a 2-hour flight. So, so now with the Gorge, so do you camp or do you go to hotels for those?
We camp every year in the Premier, so the Gorge campground, and doing it again this year. So looking forward to it. That's honestly one of the highlights of the weekend for me is getting to see friends that I've seen in a year and camping out at the best venue in North America.
Awesome. Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit, but I did hear, yeah, you said you're going to be camping, premier camping. And it's one of the best parts of the trip is, yeah, to stay there. The scenery it's just beautiful. The scenic views you get out there. And now if you go to Alpine, are you going to fly or are you going to drive?
I would fly. I'm not sure yet. Some of my friends fly to Chicago and some to Milwaukee. It's definitely cheaper for me to go to Chicago, so that would probably be the route that I would look into. But haven't decided 100% yet.
Okay. Yeah, Chicago is definitely, even for me, Chicago is a hub here in the States.
Right.
So you can always get a cheaper flight and a direct flight, at least for me. Like you may have to go somewhere else, like a Winnipeg or somewhere in the northern parts of the States. But pretty much Chicago, where I am in Connecticut, I have to go through Chicago to get to places like the Gorge. I was in O'Hare last year with a layover on the way back, so it's convenient. It's going to be the better deal, and they have more rental cars if you need to rent. They'll have more camping. They'll have more options for you to have if you need to get camping gear in Chicago than Milwaukee.
Right.
So yeah, and like I said, we'll check back with you. We're going to be doing more things about what you want to see from the tour when we get closer to the tour. But we do thank you for being on, Mike.
Yeah,
and,
sorry it was choppy. Well, I'll try to get it figured out better for next time.
Oh yeah, no worries. Well, yeah, we appreciate you. You enjoy the rest of your night.
I wouldn't be Canadian if I didn't apologize, right? So sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? That is the Canadian way, and to me, it's the northern, like the northern Midwest way. North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the same way. They apologize too. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, keep up the good work on the streams. I try to tune in whenever I can, and if I miss it, I watch the replay. So it's awesome. I love what you do.
all right, I appreciate it. You have a good night. Take care. All right, hey, Amy, do you want to come on, or Greg? I don't know if you're at work, Greg, but if anyone else wants to come on, let me know, and we'll. Yeah, so that's Mike, and Mike's from Alberta, which is next to British. It's in between British Columbia, which Vancouver is, and Saskatchewan, which is kind of just above Montana and North Dakota. So he's not that far. You know, he can drive to the gorge, as he said, when the border is open. And the gorge does get, talking to him prior, they get a lot of Canadians. Amy, do you want to come on the chat? I mean, come on audio. Let me know if you want to come on, just like Mike did. We want to talk to you about the tour. If not, it's fine, but we can do audio only. You don't have to do video. Oh, no worries, Mike. I know you're apologizing again. It's all good. This is live. It's live streaming, so it happens. But Amy, just say like if you. Oh, Amy. Okay, so I'm gonna put this link in here, Amy, and then what you need to do is click it. What you want to do, Amy, is click that link I just put in the chat, and it should let you on. And then from there, we can get you in. And then I don't know if Victoria, if you're on, let me know as well. We want to get you on. I know you said earlier, if you're on, if Victoria, please report to the stream. If you're on, we want to talk to you as well. All right, so we're going to bring Amy on in just a sec. She's on hold right now, but stay where you are, Amy. Let's see. Oh, so Greg is at work. Bridgeport seems like it should have a lineup announced early next week. I'm excited for Sound on the Sound. It's interesting to see that they have like the Lumineers have said, hey, we're doing one of the dates. They have the two headliners. And I'm just anxious to see what the lineup looks like, but Sound on Sound seems like it's going to be great. All right, we're going to bring on Amy. Amy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hi.
All right. There you are.
Finally,
thank you. Yes,
finally
thank you.
we meet.
Yes, and thank you so much. You have been, just like everyone else who's been on, I appreciate the support of you. Always are on almost every night that I'm on, and we really appreciate that.
Well, I try.
Or like I said, I appreciate that. So are there any shows that you're planning to go to for this tour?
Oh, I wish. Nope, no funds.
Gotcha. Are you near any actual venues?
Well, they're having one in Mississippi, right?
Not no? Is it Brandon, Mississippi? I gotta check the tour. I think there's
yeah, but that's the closest I am, and my car ain't gonna make it there.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think there's a Brandon, Mississippi show. Let me check that here.
Last year they had one in Missouri that they canceled, so I didn't get to go to that. So last time I saw them was the Gorge in 19.
Oh, you were at the Gorge in 2019.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, I was there. That was my first Gorge.
That was my first Gorge too.
Nice. Now, what did you think of that?
Oh man, it was a dream of me and my best friend. Our dream came true.
That's awesome. And yes, Brandon, Mississippi is going to be May 17th.
Did you see
And
when they played Big Eyed Fish? The cloud in the sky looked like a big-eyed fish.
I did not see the cloud. I think that was that night too.
I can't remember which night it was, but
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
looking.
there. Oh my! I mean, how much better can you get? I mean,
Let's see. No, I mean,
every
hey, it's a
every word they
sign.
say, huh?
It's a sign from the heavens that's
I'm
what this.
telling you what. I'm telling you what. Right there in God's country. Oh my God! It was the best thing of my life. It was. It was
Yeah,
the
it
best
was.
thing ever.
It's a trip of a life. Yep. So it was Saturday. So that Saturday, I was in seats. So I
Uh,
wasn't looking up at the sky. The Friday and Sunday shows, I was looking at sunset. But that was the one night I was closer up in the seat.
Friday we was on the lawn, and then the last 2 nights we were in seats. Yeah,
Nice.
you
And
could hear it good from anywhere you sit.
that's honestly what shocked me is it's almost better on the lawn than it is close up
You think? Why? Why do you think that?
because when you have seats like in the pit, I wasn't in the pit, but in the actual seats, I've done it twice between the two times I've gone. You feel so compressed, like you can't move. You literally can't, like there's no space. But when you're on the lawn, you can see the full stage. You feel like you're part of the show, even though you're very far from the stage. It feels like you're right next to Dave. And,
I
and,
know.
and that's
Yeah.
what makes the gorge. And like you said, it's open, huge sky, beautiful scenic views. And you don't even think about like you go to a city and you're like, I got to be close. I got to be in this section if I can. If I, like I said, if I can get that ticket, if it's in my budget. But at the gorge, you could be at the top of the hill or the front of the hill or the side of the hill.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're just the nature and the music matter more than actually seeing
Mhm.
Dave
Mhm.
6 feet away from you. Like it's a
Yeah, for
special
sure.
thing.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
Now, let's just say, so if you were given just if you were able to go to any show for this tour, they give you a voucher, they give you a flight pass, a hotel or accommodation. What show do you think you'd want to go to for this tour?
Alpine.
Alpine. Okay.
Alpine.
Have
I
you
want to
been
go
there
to
before?
Alpine. I have a lot of friends that have been there, and yep, the things they say.
Awesome. And that's why I had it on my list for this year. I've heard great things. It's kind of like the gorge. It's remote, so you're away from the hustle and bustle of the city. You
Really?
escape you escape the yeah. There's actually just like the gorge. There's a lot of county roads out there,
Hmm.
and I'm sure if you're between Missouri and Mississippi, I'm sure like rurally, there's just County Road X, County Road Y. A lot of like to get to Alpine, you get off the highway and you got just like the gorge, and you have to take these back roads. And the locals, they only allow certain exit. Like I don't know what the quota is, but they only allow a certain amount of shows at Alpine because of the finances of it. Like they
Hmm.
can't. It's expensive to keep that thing going, and also the locals don't want the traffic every weekend.
Sounds like Woodstock.
Yeah, I mean the same thing. Yep, upstate New York. Yeah, same type of
Yeah.
idea. It's farmland. Where Alpine is, it's farmland and it's middle of nowhere.
Well,
But
where
that's
I
what.
am, where I am is farmland too, Iowa.
Oh, you're in Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh, was I the? I want to say I was the last year I told you about a family friend who went to University of Northern Iowa.
Yeah. Yeah. It was you.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Actually, he was on a Zoom call that we had for our church today. Yeah. So, yep. I haven't been to Iowa, but I've heard a
You're
lot
not
from him.
missing. You're not missing anything. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So, yeah, it's nice to see you in person here, or even
Too.
if it's
You
by video.
too.
And
I
like I
thought,
said,
I always kept telling myself, I wish I could see him. I wish we could talk to each other because, I'm here all the time.
right, you are. Yeah, you always are here, and we enjoy you being a part of the conversation. I created this channel and this whole show because I wanted to talk to other people. I believe I
Good for
believe
you.
that I believe that when we can actually talk about things like this that we enjoy, it makes everything
Mhm,
better. So
mhm.
thank you so much for being on, and we'll try to get you on another time, closer
Yeah.
to the start of the tour. And you have a
Yeah. Is anybody gonna be like streaming it and stuff so I can watch it since I don't get to go?
so I don't know if you have Facebook.
Yeah, I do.
So there are some Facebook groups. I don't know if
Oh
you're
yeah,
part of.
lots of them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's kind of how I do it. DMB Family. There's DMB Couch Tour.
Mm-hmm. Got that
So if
one.
you do, yeah, so that's the best way, especially because they used to have Periscope, and it was like a
Hmm.
really great app. I think it got bought out or shut down. You know how it is. Anything good gets
Yeah,
bought out by a larger business, and then they
yeah,
shut it down. But
for sure.
but yeah, DMB Couch Tour, that's kind of the best way because you do get some people that they get pit tickets, but
Yeah, the Angela Cooper.
yes,
Yeah.
Angela and Dave Bigler, and they have their
Yep,
phone,
yep,
have a charger sometimes, and they
yep.
really do. I really appreciate it. They give you
I know.
at
If it
home,
wasn't for them guys doing that, I wouldn't have been able to see any of it.
right? And what's crazy is sometimes the audio from the people in the pit is better than Sirius XM.
I don't have Sirius either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes the audio from if they have an iPhone, like a new iPhone, if
Hmm.
they have depends on the venue. Some venues don't have good service, but I've seen a couple of people on like streaming from their phone, and the audio is better on their phone than it is Sirius XM. It's amazing what the technology.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and not every. Sometimes you get some rough streams. A lot of more popular shows, everyone's on their phone, so the network it's blurry, but you'll take it. But there's some shows I've seen where you're like, wow, for like 15 minutes of that show, they have a great signal, and you're seeing like Dave 5 feet away from
Yeah.
them, and it's a great
I
experience.
don't,
So
when I'm at the concert, I don't like to uh picture and video and all that stuff because in my mind I want to see it that I want to see it. I want to keep it in my brain.
right, right.
And if I'm doing all that, I'm missing everything.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's a tough dilemma. I struggle with
Yeah.
it because
Do you do that when you're there?
so if you look at my channel, I try to capture certain songs. So I will capture a full song and put it on my YouTube page, but like it'll only be like 2 or 3 songs. But I also go to a bunch of shows a year, so if I see that a song is going to be like I'll take one version of that song for the tour, and next time
Mhm.
it's played, I will listen to it without any phone. So I do a little bit of both, but it's a dilemma because studies show when you don't have your cell phone out and you don't take any pictures, your memory is better.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
you actually take videos, your memory isn't as sharp because you're focused on taking the video. So it's a tough dilemma,
Yeah.
but to
Yeah.
me, I like because I'm blessed to be able to go to all these shows, I
Yeah.
like to
You lucky.
share I like to share a little bit of the show with people back home. Like I'll be going to a John Mayer show next Thursday, and it's the first show of the tour. So there may be some songs or arrangements that no one's seen, and I can share that with the world. So
I
I
saw
like
it. Go ahead.
I like to trade off. I'll I'll get in the moment for certain parts of the show, and other parts of the show I've seen John Mayer like 7, 8 times, so I'll take the video of this song because I've already heard it. But then the
You
next
know,
couple songs I'll listen with intent and put the phone in my pocket. So
yeah. You know what I miss? I miss the rugs they used to stand on when they played.
so
Remember?
they still have some bands still have that.
Yeah, but
Uh
DMB, you know?
I'm trying to think. I think Dave still does have. He doesn't have the rug he used to have, but he does have a more black. It's a more generic black rug.
Oh, I didn't notice, I guess.
Yeah, because what happens is under his rug, when he stands on the rug, it activates his mic. So his mic shuts off if he doesn't have his feet on the rug and he's like dancing around. That mic gets shut off so it doesn't pick up his dancing.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
pretty. He's got some pretty good technology. Yeah, so and
He does.
that's why he
Gosh.
has that rug, is because if he's on that rug, it activates his mic. And when he
Yeah.
steps off it and when he goes around the crowd and he's dancing,
And
it
hopefully doesn't fall down.
no, we do not need. He's had some close calls, but we can't have him tear an ACL, and because he'll still be up there with in a wheelchair, but we want him to be 100%.
Let's hope
So,
not. No, but when we were at the gorge, we got a camper, and with the air conditioning, and what do you call it to keep it running? The air conditioning running.
generator.
Yeah, generator. We had to get a generator, and you got to get gas and to keep it going. But it's always so windy. That's the only thing I don't care for is the wind.
Yeah, it's windy and smoky like this. So 2019 wasn't smoky, but 2021, when I went in 2021 last year, it was like the fires.
Really?
Yeah, the fires were like 100, I think it was like 70, 80 miles away, but the wind carried it.
Oh
And
man, I really wouldn't have been able to breathe.
yeah, I had my allergies started acting up. I isolated myself because I didn't know, with everything with COVID, I tested myself, and because I wasn't sure, I wasn't feeling well, but it was my allergies. It wasn't like the virus. I was negative. But
Oh,
yeah,
by the way, I got my free test today in the mail.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you heard about them, right?
Yes, so I need to check. I didn't
Yep,
get mine by mail, but that same type of test,
yep.
my church got, they handed them out. And
Oh,
here's the funny thing. So you're in Iowa, so you know about snow. We
oh yeah.
had a bad snowstorm. Now, it wasn't as bad as they thought, but a lot of people didn't come to church that day. So our pastor happened to get the COVID test like the night before. So he said anyone who is in attendance right now will get a free test outside. So
Yay.
some people are like, "Ah, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to do this." But anyone who woke up that day and drove through, we had a couple of
Well,
inches.
heck
It was
yeah.
So I was like, yeah, see, I love this because I woke up, I wanted to go and fellowship. And
Mhm.
he's like, that we just got a shipment from I don't know if it was from the state of Connecticut,
Yeah,
but they had just got them in. And it
yep.
was so
Got
awesome
two of them.
because, yep, yeah, so I got
Yep,
one, and then my
yep. Got
girlfriend
4
got one.
free. Yep.
It's awesome. So that way, if you
Well,
don't feel well.
I had the COVID, man, it
Oh,
sucks.
wow. Well, we're glad you beat it. I'm glad you beat it.
Oh
So,
yeah, me too. Because I was, vaccinated. I guess
mhm,
I know other people don't care, but I do. I have a lot of respiratory, so
okay. Well, that's good that you beat it, and thank you so much. And we gotta, like I said, we're gonna have you back on. We're gonna have everyone back on at some point. But it's a pleasure talking to you,
you
and
too.
we hope,
Finally,
yeah, hopefully there is a way. Hopefully there's a way for you to get to a show. There's, something comes through that you're able to get through. So,
I hope so too. That would be wonderful.
all right. Well, hey, you have a wonderful night. Take care.
You too. You too. Peace.
All right. All right. Peace. Bye. All right. So thank you, Amy. And it's been great to talk to everyone tonight. Um, so the next thing I wanted to bring up here as far as the tour, let me see if we can so I wanted to bring up this PowerPoint slide. Let's see. And if anyone else is on and if you want to talk about the tour, we'll bring you on as well. File. Oops. There's the slideshow. All right. So I wanted to bring this up because this is important as far as intimate venues in this tour. And Daly's Place is the newest of these venues. It is a state-of-the-art venue. The Jacksonville Jaguars owner, Mr. Khan, was a big part of this being really being a reality, right? But I want you guys to look at this just because if you get a seat in one of these venues, the amount of seats and the proximity to the stage matters. So Daly's Place in Jacksonville has 5,500 seats. And a lot of people are talking about, oh, it's the smallest venue on the tour. So yes, there's no lawn. So it is technically the smallest venue on the tour. However, SPAC and Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion, in my opinion, offer more intimate venues for the band. Now, yes, the lawn for both of these are further away. Now, the Guilford, the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion lawn is actually very, very close. It's actually a really good view, right? For a lawn area, it's probably one of the closest lawn areas you're going to get, right? Even better than the Gorge. Like your distance from stage to lawn is very close. It's still a lawn, right? You're still not in the amphitheater where you're going to always be closer. But Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion is going to give you some better views in the actual seats than Daly's Place. And SPAC will too, and because it's a double decker. It's got an upper deck and a lower level area. So you have 5,103 seats. Really, it's about 2,500 seats on top of, and then 2,500 seats, right? Just ballpark, eyeball, just if you cut it in half, right? Although that's not the case. There's always more in the lower level than the upper level. But at the end of the day, if you want an intimate venue, I think SPAC and Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion are better. Like as far as the worst seat in SPAC or worst seat in Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion is going to be better than Daly's Place, because Daly's Place has some upper decks that are higher than SPAC and that are a little further from the stage. Still awesome, right? Still a nice view where you can, if you're shorter and you have an upper deck seat, you'll be able to see over everyone. But to me, SPAC and Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion are going to have just more intimate setups. And this is important. Again, the amount of seats there are. There's only 3,097 seats in Guilford. And with Guilford, the other thing too is the ease of getting a ticket. SPAC is extremely hard to get a ticket. We'll see what Jacksonville does, but I'm pretty sure people are going to be traveling to that show. But Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion is really out there. It's a couple hours north of Boston, right? And it's, an hour and a half north of Nashua, New Hampshire, which is kind of one of the major cities out there. It's about an hour from Manchester, New Hampshire, which is another large city. But it's really out there. So you have more tickets available. You have lower prices closer to the event. And we'll have to see what happens, because there are people this year, just like last year when I went for the first time, there are people that are looking to make this trip because they're hearing great things about it. But I really think that you can't just say, oh, Daly's Place has the smallest amount of people. We can, that's going to be the best of the best. And just to show you guys, if we go to Daly's Place, you guys can kind of see. So these are some pictures. That's not. So this is Daly's Place. Now this is a wrestling event, so that's a bad. They actually had seats on the stage. But this right here where the wrestling mat is, that's where the pit's going to be. And then where they have the bleachers on the stage is actually the actual stage. So this is going to be it's a state of the art venue, but if you don't, it's going to still offer great views, right? Look at that. Oh, they got all this wrestling. So this is a view from the lower area. So this is the actual venue. So see, there's two upper decks. So this third tier is pretty high. But this is still Daly's Place is still going to be a great venue. But like I said, if you looked, you could see these upper deck tiers are a little bit different, and it stretches back. Oh, that's wrestling. Again, looks like they had wrestling. This is Train. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be still a great place to see D&B. Chicago. And again, this is the bowl. So this is so this back area, they have like a lower level, a back lower, a pit, a first deck, and a second deck. So still, again, you're gonna have some nice views. But if you go to Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion, let me just show you some views of this. So this is Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion. This is the middle pavilion. The stage is so small. I think this is Dave Matthews. This is October 2021. But this stage is so small that it can't even fit all of the, like, there's no you know how there's a screen behind the stage where you could they show the band. They can't fit that full setup of the lighting of those dasher boards or ribbon boards. They only can fit a couple of them because it's so small. And this is the lawn. The one thing about the lawn is, now it looks better than this picture, but the lawn it's a low roof. So this is the back of the lawn. This is like at the fence. But most of the lawn, you're up at the front, and there's plenty of space for most of these shows. See if they got better. Well, that's the Outlaw Music Fest there, Willie Nelson and crew. Yeah, like this is really like the lawn right here. Like you can see the stage right there. It's a lot closer than most lawns. See if they have better. But Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion, I mean, the pictures don't even do it justice. When you're in the middle pavilion, when you're at like the mid level of the venue, you're still have an amazing view. Like this doesn't even do it justice. Like it's hard because it is a little bit flatter in the photos. And then if we go to, obviously SPAC is super small as far as these are going to be the three venues that there's the Orion Amphitheater in Huntsville that has about 5,000. I don't, I've seen drawings, but it's hard to tell. But like I said, I've been to Bank of New Hampshire. I've been to SPAC. This is SPAC. So if you notice, this looks a little bit bigger than, a little bit of, again, it has an upper deck. But all of these seats are phenomenal. I've been in the upper deck twice for shows. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, Greg Groton 27. That's just Greg. He's saying stop talking about Guilford. It's gonna make it harder to get tickets there. Yeah, I know. I know. People, it's like you don't like rule number one of Guilford. You don't talk about it. So yeah, we'll talk about SPAC. Yeah, Guilford is trash. Do not go. Um, but you know what? You know what stops people from going to Guilford? It's in the middle of the week. I think that's what really saves it. If Guilford was on a weekend, it would be crazier. But because it's midweek, people just like Mohegan this past year, it's harder for people to make a midweek show for work, for just travel. People want to go to these big weekend destinations. That's what will always preserve Guilford is if it's on in the middle of the week for DMB. And many of you guys have been to SPAC. Do not get lawn tickets on at SPAC. But yeah, it's just this is a very very intimate venue. It is the Fenway Park. I call SPAC the Fenway Park of venues. It has the poles, right? It's got green seats like Fenway, and it's very intimate. And it's got a unique upper deck. The upper deck, the front of the upper deck, I was there in 2018. The front of the upper deck is just one of the most unique views in outdoor concert life because most upper decks in an actual arena are not as close to the stage. So the SPAC upper deck is so unique, especially if you're in that front part. I was like the row right behind the boxes. Like there was I think I was second, or no, I was like the second row in between the aisle that separates the boxes in the front center. I was front center there of the upper deck. So it's just an amazing venue. Man, these pictures. So I gotta add my own pictures to this when I go to SPAC. Yeah, again, like I said, you're looking at the from the lower level, the lower front, and you look back and there's only so many rows. So yeah, so that is SPAC. And that's really all I have for right now. Again, I do want to spread these things out. We got a lot of we'll have stuff to talk about, right? We'll definitely have stuff when the ticket confirmations come in. But so tune in Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern, and I will have some, we'll talk more DMB. Stay tuned on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll have more details about potential topics. And tomorrow, I'll be having a concert review of Umphrey's McGee. They're playing in New Haven. Today's National Pizza Day. I did have pizza. I baked my own pizza today. And but I'll be going down to New Haven, getting some New Haven pizza, and going to a show, College Street Music Hall. And I'll have some videos up from that show, and I'll have a review of the show tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do tomorrow night or Friday, but I'll have a review of Umphrey's McGee out in New Haven. Stay tuned for that. Also of note, John Mayer, February 17th, opening. He's playing right now on the SiriusXM Small Stages series. And there's a DMB fan that is there. They took a picture in one of our Discord chats. Let me see if they have an update here. Stay driving. All right, yeah, I have to comment on that. Yeah, someone is at John Mayer. I'll be at his opening, his first tour stop. So he's doing a special show tonight, SiriusXM, Small Stages series. You can listen to that on SiriusXM. Oh, you saw Mayer open for the Stones. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. And the Stone, one of these, I know they're at the end. They're at their. We don't know when their last tour could be. I really, hopefully, one day can see the Stones. One of my friends, Dave, not Dave Matthews, but his dad knows the Stones personally. Like he goes back, him and Dave go backstage. And there's a picture of Dave. See if I can find it. There's a picture of Dave with the Stones. Let's see. Okay, there's a picture of him as a baby with the Stones. I don't know if it's on his. Oh, here it is. This is my friend. He's at the Rolling Stones, October 28th, 1994, in Oakland. He's got his little. He was what, 3 at the time, I think. What, 1? Yeah, he was 3 years old. But his dad was a roadie. He did stuff for the Who and the Stones. And his dad has some awesome stories. So yeah, Amy, that's my friend Dave. And his dad the cool thing about his era, his dad just met the bands like at restaurants after the shows and built relationships with them and then became, traveled with them at certain shows. And that's what you could do back in the day. Like his dad wasn't some special industry bigwig. His dad just was a guitar tech and befriended the Stones. I think there's a picture. See if I can find it. Like I said, he's been backstage with them. Where is he? But he's a good dude. Me and Dave got to hit up another show. He's gone to D&B with me. And yeah, so that's him at the Stones show last year. Yeah, he goes to Heinz Field a lot. Or no, this may be a throwback. That's him at the Stones show. And then I thought he did this for Charlie when he passed away. Oh no, this was Father's Day. Yeah. So yeah, he's hung out with Stone. Again, it's just cool. His dad's a down to earth guy who just, like I said, you can't do it anymore, but he networked. You meet him at a restaurant after. I mean, obviously they were still the Stones, but he developed these relationships. Right? This is when they first came over from. That's the thing, is when the Who first came over and when the Stones first came over, friends of friends, networking, all that stuff happened. So by the time they were, consistently coming to the States, he had these relationships with these people in the band. Okay, so yeah, all right, we're at hour 18. So all right, we're gonna end with this Sugar Will and call it a night. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the like button. 10 p.m. Saturday. Be here, because I will be here. And thank you guys. Thank you for everyone who came on the show. All right, so we are going to get to Sugar Will. Peace.